the hat. Don't give me no problem, just give me the light. These niggas, they ain't ready, they ain't real, they pretty pipe. The game dead, it's in the bed, I'm bringing the light. What can I say, I've been this way, I'm bullies for life. These niggas weak, ain't this low, this shit on light. I'm putting it up, it ain't enough, I'm turning it up. Don't know what they think, must be thinking too much. Look, don't care what you do, don't care what you try, I don't know what to take. You not on my level, I was born to rebel. Nigga, come on, got that mojo, Austin Powers. We do not fuck with them, we don't know no cowards. Run my steppin', back on my shit, it ain't gon' cease. When I take your spot, I own the spot, ain't no lease. Monopoly with that property, I'm gon' go my people, nigga. The one pick up the pieces, I make this shit look easy. And I'm screaming out for Jesus, man don't fly like Christian. You touch my blow, you crazy. You see how quick it run my steppin', back on my shit, it ain't gon' cease. When I take your spot, I own the spot, ain't no lease. Monopoly with that property, I'm gon' go my people, nigga. The one pick up the pieces, I make this shit look easy. And I'm screaming out for Jesus, man don't fly like Christian. You touch my blow, you crazy. See how quick it bleed. I told you I'm on gumbo, bitch be ready, oh I'm leaving. These rappers just my meeting me, I swear I'm not the. Don't care what you do, don't care what you try, I don't know what to take. You not on my level, nigga, I was born to rebel. Yeah, nigga, I'm on gumbo, got that mojo, Austin Powers. We do not fuck with them niggas, we don't cowards, Run my steppin', back on my shit, it ain't gon' cease. When I take your spot, I own the spot, ain't no lease. Monopoly with that property, I'm gon' go my people, nigga. The way pick up the pieces, I make this shit look easy. And I'm screaming out for Jesus, man don't fly like Christian. You touch my blow, you crazy. You see how quick it bleed. Told you, come on, ready, oh I'm leaving. These rappers just my meeting me, I swear I'm not the evil. Alright. Tell him good night. Tell him it's so. I ain't even that. I already told. I'm always for life. So don't run from me, nigga. Don't come for me, nigga. Been doing my man from down in my legs, and I need a bag. And I need it bad. So I'm back in my bag. They need that pressure, I got a man. Introduce you to that mojo flow, that alkaline. Don't care what you do, don't care if you try, don't know what to take. You're not on my level, I was born to rebel. Nigga, come on, got that mojo, Austin Powers. We do not fuck with them, we don't know no cowards. You don't understand, I'm the man, you in the middle, you in the front. You done, tell them good night, listen me Kimmel. I be on point, I'm in the truck, and it's a rhythm. Nah, I can't talk, I gotta go, cause I'm in the gym. You don't understand, I'm the man, you in the middle. You done, tell them good night, listen me Kimmel. I be on point, I'm in the truck, and it's a rhythm. Nah, I can't talk, I gotta go, cause I'm in the gym. Trap this shit, they go nuts. This mojo just for grown-ups. We live, baby, boo, I love you so much. I said I love you too, but I gotta go, get it sewn up. I gotta get this paper, baby, need the rubbers. Alright. Bitch, the hot. Show me it's hot. Now give me the nut. Look at me shake. I shook him like that. Now over the toe. I ain't it for nuts. Don't care what you do. Try, don't know what to take. You're not on my level. I was born to rebel. Yeah, nigga, come on, got that mojo, Austin Powers. We do not fuck with them niggas. We don't know no cowards.
Shalom Israel. This is Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. This is ISUPK Kaleem Wednesday Law Class. Go ahead and clap it up. Yeah, Shalom. This is Priest and Officer IBR, the Israelite School of UPK. And we've been teaching the truth of the Bible since 1969 that blacks, natives, and Hispanics are the chosen people of God. You understand? So, as you see the title of the class, it's Understanding Death. Throughout this, captivity over here in America, North, Central, and South America, we've been taught things about our culture and things about life that's just not true at all. And because the oppressor wants you to live a life that's meaningless to your power, the oppressor wants you to live a life that's, that completely goes against your power. They teach you what they want to teach you about death and not the actual sense of death and how to cope with it and how to deal with it and just even understanding the process of death. I know back a couple years ago, they had a motto that said, you only live once. And, we took that motto and we said, you know what, since we only live once, I'm going to just live my life vicariously. I'm going to just live my life and smoke all the weed I want to, have all the sex with all the, promiscuous women that I want to. The women want to jump from rod to rod because I live a life of pleasure because you only live once. And because of our oppressor, we've taken that mindset and we live a life that's unpleasing to the Lord because we don't even understand our culture. We don't even understand what the Bible teaches us about death because Christian pastors, they profit off of teaching you that you die once. They profit off of just lying to the people because they're prophets for hire, man. And we're just going to get into some scriptures and show you, how to understand death, dealing with the Bible, how to understand death, dealing with the Bible, how to understand the process of it, how to grieve, how to cope with it, even the law concerning it and how you should go about it, man. And we're just going to go ahead and break that down to you today. You know what I'm saying? So first we want to go to Ecclesiastes 3:1. Because, a lot of times, in the black and the brown Hispanic community, man, we like to teach that, this person died too young. It was unexpected. You understand? Or this person, they died, you hear this all the time. This person died way before their time, right? They was just too early to go, not knowing that this is the Lord's will. You understand? And so we just got to understand, man, that everything that happens, it happens because the Lord wants it to happen. You understand? So when you got that scripture, go ahead and read it for me, Bob Kashar.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
To everything there is a season.
To everything there's a what?
A season.
Uh-huh.
And a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So the Bible says to everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under the heaven. You understand? It's a time to mourn. It's a time to, Salakia? It's a time to mourn and cry. It's a time to be happy. It's a time to be sad. It's a time to feel sorry. It's a time to pick yourself up by your bootstrap and stand in it and drive on. But it's a time and a purpose for everything under the season. Under the sun. Salakia, go ahead.
A time to be born.
Uh-huh.
And a time to die. A time to plant. And a time to pluck up that which is planted.
It says a time to be born and a time to die. So if we already know that it's appointed for every man to die, there's no such thing as an untimely death. Or what do they call it? An untimely demise, right? There's no such thing as that. So that's the first thing we got to wrap our mind around dealing with life and death, that it's a time and season for everything, man. And because of our religious leaders and because of, zodiac signs and, whatever else, we've been taught to believe in, we believe that nothing is it's everybody else's fault and the Lord's not doing it. We believe that, the Lord didn't have a time. The Lord didn't mean for your uncle to die at, 26 years old. That's absolutely what it meant, because it's a time and place for everything. You understand? Read that again from the top, Baba Kashar.
To everything there is a season.
Uh-huh.
And a time, it's like, in a time to every purpose under the sun.
Uh-huh.
A time to be born.
Uh-huh.
And a time to die.
Uh-huh.
A time to plant.
Mm-hmm.
And a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Keep going.
A time to kill.
Uh-huh.
And a time to heal.
Uh-huh.
A time to break down.
Uh-huh.
And a time to build up.
Keep going.
A time to weep. And a time to laugh.
Uh-huh.
A time to mourn. And a time to dance.
Listen, it's telling you, man, it's a time for everything. Everything you do in life has a time, has a season, and has a time period on it, man. Because you can mourn, you understand, and you can cry, but what comes after that? Joy and laughter, you understand? It's a time and season for you to operate in, just like it's a time and season for one to be born and one to die. You understand? So now, so now we get this, right? Is we understand that it's a time for everything, and eventually you have to die. So how should you look at death from this point on? Because you understand that if you were born, you got to close your eyes again, right? That you're going to have to die because it's the time for everything. How should you view death from this point on now, knowing that at one day you're going to die, so your family member going to die, your brother, your sister, your mama, your cousin, it's inevitable. So how should you look at death now? All right. So let's skip over and let's go to Ecclesiastes 4. I'm trying to get you in a mind frame so that way it can ease your mind how you look at death from this point on. So how to cope with death, to understand that this is all part of the Lord's plan on this earth. You understand? Like, that's just the process of life, and we'll get into it. When you got that, read that, Baba Kashah.
This is book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
So I returned and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun.
Uh-huh.
And behold, the tears of such were oppressed, and they had no comfort.
Salakia. Ecclesiasticus 41. Salakia. Ecclesiasticus 41 and 4. And that's an excellent scripture, because he said that he seen so he returned and considered all the oppressions done under the sun. We're going to get into what happens, what a judgment that happens under the sun that your Christian pastor never taught you about. So we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 41 and we're going to start at verse 1.
There's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 41, verse 1.
Uh-huh. So,
death,
uh-huh.
O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possession. So
now it's going to give you a comparison or a viewpoint with two different points of life, right? We understand you always got the rich and the poor, right? That's just the dynamics of life. You can't have poor without rich, and people can't be rich without poor. It's a give and take exchange. So it's going to give you a viewpoint on two different perspectives on death. Read it from the top, Baba Kashah.
O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possession.
It says, how bitter is death to a man that liveth in rest in his possessions. What does that mean? It's bitter for a rich man to want to die because he has everything he needs. Because he's living long in his possessions. He got the car he want. He got the house he want. He got the ribs he want. He got all the money in the world. So to him, you understand, listen, I ain't really trying to die. That ain't really, I want to live it up now. What Drake say, YOLO. They want to live life to the fullest now because they got everything they can ask for. Keep going.
To the man that have nothing to vex him.
And to the man, he don't even got nothing to vex him because he's so rich. He don't even got nothing that irritates his soul because he's living in heaven on earth right now, man. You think Jeff Bezos and you understand Donald Trump and all these other multi-millionaire oppressors, you think they're trying to accept death, the bitterness of death? No. They're trying to go to space and build Airbnbs in space, man. They want to be the first to do it because why? They living in rest in their possessions. Nothing that they don't face the problems that we face. Keep going.
And that have prosperity in all things.
And that have prosperity in what?
In all things.
Uh-huh.
Yea, unto him that is yet able to receive meat.
Listen, man, he can still chew his food good. He still got prosperity and everything that he does. You know who that is? That's your Christian pastors. Your Christian pastors tell you, bring all the tithes into my house so that way you can have meat in the storehouse, right? They take all your money. They take your grandma money. They take your grandfather money, your auntie money, and they don't have a care in the world because they're resting in their possessions, because they're building their empire off of the backs of poor people, you understand, in the Black and Hispanic community.
Right.
And they don't, nothing's going to vex them. Why? Because they have everything they want. Now let's see the other viewpoint of it. Keep going, verse 2.
O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy.
Until the what?
Unto the needy.
It says the needy accept death. You ever hear brother in the hood, hey, bro, what I got to live for? To keep struggling for what? It said acceptance is death of the needy. Why? We badly trying to struggle to hold on, man. This is life on two different perspectives. Keep going.
And unto him who shrink filleth.
And to him is what?
Shrink filleth.
Uh-huh.
That is now in the last age.
Mm-hmm.
And is vexed with all things.
And he is vexed with what?
All things.
Listen, man, he's vexed with everything. He don't have the money and in the possessions like the rich man. He's vexed in everything. How I'm going to pay my bills. I barely can afford life insurance. Right. I barely can get food for my kids, right? I'm vexed in everything. You know what? Hey, man, you know what? I guess it is just better for me to go ahead and die. We accept it. Because I heard the general say this, man. We're more closer. If you're Black and Hispanic, man, for the most part, we're more closer to the brother and sister that's under the bridge than we think we are, man. And you know what we need to accept? Hey, death is inevitable, man. Your body going into that ground is inevitable, man. And that's a part of you understanding that it's a time and a season for everything, man. Keep going.
And to him that despaired have lost patience.
He has what?
Have lost patience.
Keep going.
Patience. Fear not the sentence of death.
Do what?
Fear not the sentence of death.
It says, don't fear the sentence of death. You know that death is going to come because why? Just like you was born on the earth, you're going to have to die. So whether or not you are a rich man, you understand, whether or not you're a poor man, you have to accept that sentence that death is going to come to you, whether you like it, understand it, believe it or not. So you should wrap your mind and view it and accept it. Keep going.
Remember them that have been before thee,
Mm-hmm.
and that come after.
Uh-huh.
For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh.
This is the sentence of what?
Of the Lord over.
It says, this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh, meaning this is the Lord's commandment that everybody's going to die, and everybody that's born, everybody must die. That's it. Keep going.
And why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High?
It says, why are you against the pleasure of the Most High? What's that pleasure of the Most High? Of the Most High? He ordained for you to die, you understand? Just like he ordained for you to be born again, to replenish the face of the earth. So why are you upset? Because that's his plan. The first thing you should do to understand the death is understanding that it's inevitable, man. And you have to accept it. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, you understand, whatever situation you're in life, you understand that there's no such thing as an untimely death, and that you're going to have to die whether you understand it or not, and whether you like it or not. That's just the fact of the matter, man. You understand? So now, you used to say, well, they ain't nobody, I always know, we're going to die one day, but that don't mean I got to accept it. I can just live a life the way that I want to live it. Why? So now your wheels start turning because you're trying to figure out, well, yeah, I know I got to die, so let me just live for now, right? Let me just live for now, because really, really all you doing is just talking because nobody knows. What's the question they say? Nobody knows what happened when you die. Who knows? Who knows? Well, congratulations. You understand? The water to the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, man, to teach you the truth of the Bible, because we know what happens when you die. Right. You understand? So now, after you have to accept death, you got to understand. Well, now, what's the process of death? What happens after I die? All right. Let me get Psalms 104. We got to understand the process. Now, I know your church never told you this. I know your Muslim imams never told you this, that it's a process after you die. And guess what? It's not like the Catholics say, where you go into a purgatory and you got to fight some spiritual demons to get into heaven. You understand? To be naked with white Michael. You understand? And white Michael is crazy. Right? It's not no place like that where you're going into a spiritual purgatory. You understand? We're gonna show you, according to the Bible, what happens when you die. All right? Verse 29.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 29. Mm-hmm. Thou hidest thy faith. Uh-huh. They are troubled. Uh-huh. Thou takest away their breath.
So it says, thou hidest thy faith and taketh away their breath. Keep going.
They die.
They what?
They die.
So when you take your last breath, that's when you die, right? So the question is at hand is, well, what happens when you die? Keep going. It's about to explain. And return. So now, once you take your last breath, your body now is buried in the ground and it returns to the dust, right? Keep going.
Thou sendest forth spirit.
Thou sendest forth thy what? So now your spirit, after you take your last breath, is sent forth. Now, where is it sent forth to? Keep going.
They are created.
They are what?
Created.
So your spirit goes back to the Lord. Now, what happens is when somebody in your family, when they have relations together, when that sperm cracks that egg, that's when you are created again. Keep going.
Thou renewest the face of the earth.
And thou does what?
Reneweth the face of the earth.
If you want to know what happens when you die, your body, you take your last breath, your body goes into the ground, your spirit goes back to the Most High, and then he sends your spirit back into the earth, into a new body to replenish the face of the earth. Now your Christians are not teaching you that. The Christian church has never told you that before. They've told you to be good, to be a good slave. What is it? To be a good servant unto thy master, right? And who is their master? The oppressor. Because why? If they teach you that if they can keep the lie going that you don't come back in the earth, that would change how you live your life today. You know, I might be putting my age out there. You know that Rocco got that song Tomorrow, right? I don't know if y'all remember that song. You know what I'm saying? That's probably back in the day, man. But it said tomorrow, I'm gonna live my life like there's no tomorrow. Listen, if you live your life like that, you're gonna come back in some hellish conditions, man. And wondering why we're born in the situations that we're in. Now, we're gonna get into it. But we should live a life knowing that we're going to be replenished back into the face of the earth, man. Now, that's what the Christian church teaches you to, that your spirit will never come back. And it's crazy because even Scientologists believe that this energy never dies. Scientists believe this. So if energy never dies, and Christians believe in the Holy Spirit. They say he never dies. So don't you have a spirit, Christians? Where's your spirit go? What? So you mean to tell me it's an infinity of spirits, of energies, with no, I can't even understand like what you teach at this point, because it's not biblical, man. So that's what we got to understand, man. That once we die, we're coming back. Read it again from the top, Baba Kashaf.
Thou send forth thy spirit. they are created.
Uh-huh.
And thou renewest the face of the earth.
And thou what?
Reneweth the face of the earth.
Keep going.
The glory of the glory of the Lord shall endure forever.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord shall rejoice in his works.
Listen, man, his works, man, is his people renewing the face of the earth, man.
Right.
You understand? The kingdom of heaven on earth as it is in heaven, man. That's what you got to understand, man. So now after we went over how should you view death, what happens when you die, now you got to ask yourself, right? If you know that you're coming back into the earth, what's the purpose? Why are you coming back into the earth? If Randall died, you know what I'm saying? Why does the spirit of Randall got to come back into the earth? What's the point of it? Now we can answer that question. Your Christian pastors can't answer that question. You understand? So now let's figure out. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 3. And again, this is just a class for you to understand, man, how to view death and how to look at death, man, and you know how to form your mind around accepting death and knowing that, you know, with your family that you see today, you might not see tomorrow. You understand? So you should live a life you should live a life knowing that you could be gone any day. You should live a life pleasing to Christ that way, man. Pleasing to the Most High that way, that you could be gone any day, man, because no man knoweth the time nor the hour, man. So this is what you got to understand first, man. So let's go to, you got that? Ecclesiastes 3? Yeah, let me get Ecclesiastes 3 and 16.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment.
It says, now, moreover, I saw under the sun a place of judgment. Now, we all understand what's under the sun. It's the earth. It says, now, the earth is a place of judgment. Keep going.
That wickedness was there.
That what?
Wickedness was there.
That wickedness was there. What's wickedness? Evil, right? What is evil synonymous with? Hell. You understand? So it says, he saw under the sun a place of wickedness and judgment. Keep going.
And a place of righteousness.
And a place of what?
Righteousness.
Uh-huh.
That iniquity was there.
Listen, under the sun is a place of judgment where wickedness and righteousness was there. All right? AKA heaven and hell.
Right.
So if now we understand what happens with our body once we die, that our spirit goes up and we're sent back in the earth and created to be born again and replenish the face of the earth, we're serving out a judgment on the face of the earth right now. We're serving out a judgment on the face of the earth. Now, what did your Christian pastors tell you? What did they tell you? You know, I don't even know at this point. It's because they really don't understand the Bible, man. They really don't understand, man. Go ahead, sir.
You say it's so heavy because they don't understand the Bible. They learn from the theology school.
Right. 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 Right.
Same as Hades.
Real talk.
God is Olympian.
Right.
But right here, when you brought us on here, is that it's a place of judgment.
I'm right.
The sky with a pearly gate, or in hell with the devil down there.
Real talk.
Hell,
Real talk. No, get that piece of ham, man. Look, you ain't gotta go to hell to meet the devil, man. You understand? You work for him. He's your slave master. You understand? You know how you go in there, you in the break room, and you got John over there. Hey John, how you doing, man? Yeah, man. You sitting down to your 30-minute lunch, eating lunch with the devil, man. You understand? because he's the stiller, the killer, and the destroyer in the face of the earth, the red man, the son of perdition, man. You understand? Like, that's what you gotta understand, man. Under the sun is the place of judgment. So you're serving out that judgment right now, man. You understand? And it just to further prove that you live again, give me 2 Ezra 14:35. Now, make sure you write these scriptures down, you understand, so you can have them, because these scriptures are to give you comfort and hope, man. That's what it's for, man. So you can, get that Christianity out of your mind. Get that filthiness of whatever religion you was in the world, man, so you can understand the truth about life and the truth about your culture, man. You understand? If you knew the truth about your life and your culture, you would change the way you live today because you know you're gonna live again. You understand? Read that when you got it.
This is the book of Ezra, chapter 14, verse 35.
Uh-huh.
But after death shall the judgment come.
It says now, so after death shall the judgment come. Now Christians will take this and close the book. You see? You do once you die, that's the judgment. You going to heaven or hell, right? But it's more, Christians. It's more. Keep going.
When we shall live again.
When we shall what?
Live again.
When we shall live again. Listen, where are we gonna live again? You understand? Like the scripture just said, we're gonna replenish the face of the earth, man. That's where we're going to live again, man. That's when you're gonna face your judgment right here on earth, man.
Right.
So looking at death, understanding that, okay, you have a loved one and they pass, and now you understand how to view death, that it's acceptable. I mean, that it's inevitable, it's gonna happen. Now you understand once you die, you go up to the Lord and your spirit comes back, and then you understand now you're serving out a judgment for the life you lived, right? That's the most important part. You Christians think you come here to change. You come here to try to. I can't even say it. I can't even think about it, right? But you're coming here paying for something you did in the past, whether it's you or your family members, man. So that's what you gotta understand, man. So you gotta come and recreate the narrative and serve the Lord this time around, so that way when you know you come back, the Lord might be a little gracious on you, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, sir.
It's so heavy said because, you know,
Right. Right. Good night. Right.
it don't go to people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Good night.
Heaven was in back. Y'all
Good
even
night.
know
Right. Right. Real talk. Good night. Hey, now get that piece of hair, man. Now it's crazy because I was looking up. I'm putting together some stuff myself, and I'm looking up the definition of awake. I'm pretty sure every Black and Hispanic and Native American know about. They done been to awake, and I'm like, where does this come from? And you can look this up. The wake comes from Roman Catholicism, and it started in like Ireland or Scotland, where they believed that you would go to the whether either the house or wherever the funeral home, wherever the body is, and you would stay awake all night, so that way the spirits won't interrupt the body from going into the grave peaceful. You can listen. You can look this up, man. You understand? And I'm like, yo, even in death, we're still worshiping idols. You understand? I'm like, so if you're protecting a dead body from spirits, what are the bodies supposed to do? You understand, right? And I'm like, yo, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, man. But again, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. Like we don't even care and we don't even consider, man. And it's like, I'm like, yeah, this is the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. Now it's like, if you know, like the priest just said, man, what you know, they believe, you know, well, they got some, what he said, they got some unfinished business to do, you know, they gotta, you know, they forgot to tell, you know, Johnny Sue that they loved him, so they writing letters and they trying to get you to like, man, give me a break, man. All that mysticism that they try to, you know, create around death, man, the fairy tales, is to get you out of reality. You understand? It's to make you believe in something that's absolutely not true and to keep you living in a closed, narrow-minded era, so that way it's like, well, I'm just going to believe what I want to believe. And don't even question it. Like, don't even question the fact that if it's what the scripture say, it is the spirit that quickeneth, right? The flesh profiteth nothing. Now, if it's the spirit that quickeneth, what does quickening mean? To be made alive. So if the spirit means to be made alive and the flesh or the body profits nothing, what's keeping the body alive? It's the spirit, man. So now you gotta say, well, let me understand something, because all my life I've been taught, you know, listen, you know, once the body leave, what they say? When I die again, I'm gonna see my great granny again. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see my good night. I'm gonna see my daughter again, which, you know what I'm saying, she died and she was, you know, an embryo type. I don't know. And you're gonna see the face. I don't know how it is, man. But it's like that's not what it is, man. That's not what it is. Slacky, man. All right, so now let me go back. Let me go back. So now let's give an example of somebody being born again, right? Somebody facing a judgment, or they thought at least facing a judgment after death. Go to John 9:1.
This is the book of John, chapter 9, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from birth.
So Christ passed by and he saw a man that was blind from his birth. He saw a baby, you know what I'm saying, that was blind from his birth. Keep going.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin? This man or his parents?
And so like he saw a man that was born blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, hey, who did sin? This man or his parents, that he was born blind? So the question that you have to ask that goes over every Christian's head, how can a baby sin? A baby is only relying upon his mother, you understand? A baby is only nurtured to by his mother and his father. So how can this baby be born blind that the disciples would even think that, oh yeah, this baby sinned? Like imagine that. Imagine you going to tell a Christian right now, their baby right now with whatever ailment they got, and your baby sinned. And they'll tell you, nah, there's no way my baby could have sinned. He just got here. That's because you don't understand the concept of the Bible. But the disciples knew. This proves that they understood the teachings of the Bible, and they understood what, you understand, what we're saying, that you pay for a judgment when you live again after you die. You understand? Keep going.
Then Yahushua answered, neither have this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God shall be made manifest in him.
But that the what?
But that the works of God shall be made manifest in him.
So Christ didn't say that, oh no, he didn't sin. Christ didn't say, what are y'all talking about? Y'all know babies can't sin. What are you talking about? He said, neither sinned this man or his parents. But it was done so that way the power can be shown. You understand? Right. That's what it is. So this just an example to show you that after you die, you understand, you get judged for what you do on this time around, man. after death you shall live again, right? So now so if you want to know what happens, why do you got to be brought back? To face out a judgment, whether good or bad, however you lived this time around now, right? So now let's see. So how should you move forward, right? You get a loved one that passed. Like what should happen? Go to Ecclesiasticus 38 and 16. Now, how should you move forward? Now you got a loved one that's passed. You understand? You want to figure out how to deal with it. You want to figure out how to move about it. You understand? Should I go spin the block? You understand? Should I go, put wings on the T-shirt? You understand? Like, how should you go about it? You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
My son, let tears fall down over the dead. And begin to lament.
It says, my son, let tears fall down over the dead and begin to lament. Lament means to cry, right? Your soul is anguished, right? You just lost a dead one. Drop them tears, man. It's all right, man. Cry for your loved one. Keep going.
As if thou hast suffered great harm thyself.
It says you should cry and lament over your loved one as if you suffered the harm. As if you're the one that's over there in the grave. You should, because that's your loved one, man. So you should very well lament for that person. You should very well be in sorrow for that person, man. You understand? For a time. Keep going.
And then cover his body according to the custom.
And then do what?
Cover his body according to the custom.
You want to cover the body according to the customs, man. You understand? We have a custom here in America that, we want to, we dress our family members up, put them in a casket, and, whether you want to bury them in the ground, that's lawful. Cremation is not a law against cremation that says you can't do it. However, it is not necessarily a Israelite custom to do, right? Because in the Bible, we'll all, you'll see where we'll go and get plots or burial spots and put the sepulchres in the ground, you understand, where we'll bury our people, man, you understand? So that's just the Israelite custom that we did. It said lament for your people and cry as if you're suffering that pain, and then you bury their body according to the custom. Keep going.
And then, we bury make great moan.
And do what? Oh, so like skip up to the last part of and neglect. And neglect not his burial, man. Go to the funeral, man. It's too wild. You understand? I can understand, if you got certain things you may not want to go to. You understand? Like you may be a priest and you say, well, listen, I can't go to the priest. I got work to do. You understand? All that's understandable, man. It's no law against you going or not going. But it's saying, man, like that's your loved one. You're absolutely okay to mourn the loss of your loved one. You understand? And go to that burial, man. It's too wild, man. Let me see. I want you to keep going. Okay. We're gonna hold that right quick, and then we're gonna go to Numbers 19. We're gonna go to Numbers 19. Just to show you, right? Because I said, like, you may be a brother or sister in the school, man, and you want to understand. Okay, I just lost my family member, and this what's going on. How do I supposed to move now? What's going down? Can I go to the funeral? Can I not go to the funeral? You can absolutely. It says you can go to the burial. Don't hasten not to go to the burial. You can go, man. It's too wild. That's your family member. That's your loved one. Weep for them. Cry for them. But let's see the process of our custom, how we buried our bodies according to the custom. Read that when you got it. 19 and start at 11, and then we'll jump to 16.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 11. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days.
So it says if you touch a dead body, you shall be unclean for 7 days. You understand? I know a lot of us, we go through a time where it's Salakia. You might have, you know what I'm saying, God forbid, you know what I mean? Like you was a kid that or you might go into your house and you find your granny on the floor, you understand, dead, or you somebody might die in your arms or something like that. It says that if you touch a dead body, you shall be unclean for 7 days. That's the custom according to our people. Keep going. Go to verse 16.
Verse 16. And whosoever toucheth one that is slain with a sword in the open fields.
Oh, so like go to 14.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
This is the law. When a man died in a tent, all that comes into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean for 7 days.
So if a man die in the house, or if a man, that's what we call a tent, right? Anybody come into that tent or that house where that dead body is, you're gonna be unclean for 7 days. Now, if like I said, if you're a brother and sister in the school, well, in past times, right, we say we would separate and have a law of separation during that time because a brother could have died. You could have had a family member that died from some type of illness that was airborne. You understand? That was some way, could have been spread through you by touching or breathing the same matter it was breathing. So it was custom for you to, for the sake of your brothers and sisters, let me separate myself away from them for a time to make sure I don't pass whatever my loved one had that died from, I don't pass that to the congregation, to the family. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. That's quarantine right there in the Bible. You understand? If you want to know where they got that from, stay in the house and lock your doors and don't leave out the house. That's right there in the Bible, man. Now that's just what it is. Now, that was our custom. Now, if you are brother, sister in the school, what does that mean? You can't come to the school because this is a sanctuary. This is a temple. You can't come here for 7 days, man. And what I was going to say earlier, you understand, if you got an obligation to the Lord, if you're a priest, man, and you say, well, listen, if I can't teach class in 7 days, somebody's blood is going to be on my hands. You understand? Like, by all means, it's your right. You understand, to teach. You can not go to that funeral, and you know what I'm saying. If you say, well, you know what, I got a class I've been cooking, man, and I got to get, and that 7 days is going to hinder it. Listen, brother, that's your obligation. That if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But you gotta understand, if that's going to be what it is, you can't even go inside that funeral home where that body is. You can't even go to that graveyard where that body is because ceremonially you'll be unclean for 7 days, man. And that's just what it is, man. So now you go to the funeral, you understand? You go mourn with your loved ones. You go mourn with your kinfolk. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 7 and nope. Let's go to Deuteronomy 32 and 39. So you might be asking yourself, it's still like going through your mind, like you really can't understand it. And then a lot of times, because Black and Hispanics, we don't really go to counseling, or we don't really know how to deal with problems. A lot of times, if we get a death in the family that's close to us, that's like unexpected, we get like a certain type of resentment, right? We get like a certain type of resentment, like we want to blame everybody. We want to blame the doctor. We want to blame, you understand? And so in so many instances, you want to blame the Lord, man. You want to blame your granny, because if you would have picked them up from the store yesterday, then they would have never, and you got so many scenarios in your mind about who to blame, right? Because you're still going through a grieving and a mourning process because you just lost your loved one, right? Let's see right quick. Go ahead. Deuteronomy 32 and 39.
This is the book of Deuteronomy. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 29.
Mm-hmm. 39. Mm-hmm.
See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me.
There is no what?
No God with me.
Uh-huh.
I kill.
I what?
I kill.
Uh-huh.
And I make alive.
Uh-huh.
I wound.
Uh-huh.
And I heal.
Uh-huh.
Neither is there any that can deliver, deliver it out of my hand.
Listen, man, if you want to understand who did it, why he did it, listen, the Lord did it. Can't nobody deliver you out of the hand of the Lord, man, because he kill and he make alive, man. That's what you gotta understand, man. So don't try to look for an outsource of anger to try to say, well, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna blame my kids. You understand? Because my kids they didn't go with their grandma every summer like I told them to, and so now is they don't listen. The Lord kill and he make alive, man. Give me 1 Samuel 2:6. The Lord kill and he make alive. That's all the Lord, you understand? Because just like everything, it's a time and a season for everything, man. It's a time to be born and a time to die. A time to laugh and a time to cry. Everything is what the Lord wants, man. And we should just accept that, man. And we should try to live a life worthy that the Lord, we know we're going to die, but we should live a life worthy that he don't kill us. You understand? When you got that, read that for me, Baba Shaw.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
The Lord killeth make it alive.
He do what?
The Lord killeth and make it alive.
Uh-huh.
He bring it down to the grave.
He bring it down to the what?
To the grave.
Uh-huh.
And bring it up.
What is he bringing down to the grave? That body. And what is he bringing up? The spirit. Listen, man, we understand this here, man. We understand, man, the body is just a shell, man. Right. We understand that, man. So while you're going through this mourning process, don't look for it because you're going to be angry, you're going to be hurt, and that's understandable. You understand? But don't try to outsource that anger and look for that anger to be at anybody else. Just understand that this is what the Lord wants, man. Go ahead.
In the Lord, what the Lord is, man, you look at the Lord in all aspects of life. You know what I'm saying? Even with nature, especially with nature.
Real talk.
When it's raw and all cut.
Right.
That's the Lord.
Right.
That's the Lord, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When things die, what happens? They go, like you say, go to the dust.
Real talk.
They come right back again.
Real talk.
When rain hits the ocean, there is recycled back and forth. That's the same thing with the human spirit.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? With the spirit, man.
Real talk.
It gets recycled. It's the same spirit. That's why sometimes, especially in black communities, they go right there.
Right. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk.
That's why it's so important that we learn our culture, because the oppressive culture, the white man culture, is false and delusional.
Right, real talk.
But the Lord is practical.
Real talk. Now get that priest ahead, man. Get that priest ahead. Because he's absolutely correct. Give me Ecclesiastes 1 and 5. You understand? And that's how you know he's in the spirit, because it's right here in the Bible. And we're going to read it for you.
That's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
The sun also rises.
Uh-huh.
And the sun goes down.
So it's telling you, right? So now you have the sun. The sun is over here rising, right? Now the sun is gonna go down over here, right? Now keep going.
And the sun goes down.
Uh-huh.
And his place where he arose.
So now you have the sun and the moon. You have the sun going up, and then the sun is gonna go down. The sun sets in the east. The sun rises in the east, right? And it sets in the west. And it comes back and rises again in the east. Now, when you don't see that sun, is that a new sun that's rising to the east? It's the same sun. Because this is the circle of life, right? Keep going. Go to verse 6.
Verse 6. The wind goes towards the south.
Uh-huh.
And turns about unto the north.
Uh-huh.
It whirls about continually.
Uh-huh.
And the wind returneth again according to his circuit.
The wind returneth again where?
According to his circuit.
So the wind is going to the north, to the south, and to the east. Now, when it comes back to the west, is that a new wind that you're feeling? It returns back to the surface, to the place where it started, man. This is the cycle of life, is what they call it, man. Keep going. Go to verse 7.
All the rivers run into the sea. Yet the sea is not full.
All the rivers run into the sea. You got the Tigris and the Euphrates, you understand? All these rivers are running into the sea. Keep going.
Until the place where which the river comes.
Until the place where what?
Rivers come. There returning in.
Listen, man. The rivers are going into the ocean, and the ocean is replenishing the rivers. You understand? Because as the rivers go into the ocean is kicking it right back into the. Is that new water that's there? That's the same recyclable water, man. You understand? This is the cycle of life, man. This is all it is. Jump to verse 4.
Verse 4. One generation passes away, and another generation coming. So
now we're explaining to you and telling you that just like the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, it's not a new sun. Just like the wind is blowing back and forth around you, it's not new wind. Just like the rivers are flowing to the ocean and the oceans are putting it back into the rivers, it's not new water. Read that verse again.
One generation passes away, and another generation comes.
One generation passeth away, and the other generation cometh. So my question is what's the generation is the one that's coming? Go ahead. The one that passed away, man. This is the Bible, man. Like you can't get around this, man, and you should wrap your mind and comfort yourself in this, man. Like it's not. Go to verse 9, Shalakia.
Verse 9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
And there's no what? The thing which have been is that which have been done, man. You gotta understand, man, like, you know, not to get too much into it, man, but when Moses told them in Deuteronomy 28, and there you shall be sold into your enemies for bond women, those Israelites died. Those bodies died. But who was sold into ships again into Egypt? Those Israelites. You understand? That's why the scriptures say, ye stiff-necked and hard-headed people, you always resist like your fathers did. Why? Because we are our fathers, man. You understand? Right. This is what you have to understand, man. Go to verse 10.
Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said? See, this is new.
Say that again.
See, this is new.
It says, is there anything whereof it may be said that this is new? Can you look around and see anything to say, oh man, this is new? If you go outside your front yard right now, that tree that's in your front yard, guess where it came from? A dead tree, right? That's not a new tree. That's a tree that died and was brought back up, right? Keep going.
It hath been already of old times, which was before us.
Keep going.
There is no remembrance of former things.
There is what?
No remembrance of former things.
So you got to understand something, man. Once we're dealing with reincarnation and dealing with understanding death, the Bible says there's no remembrance of the former things. And it's really a grace of the Lord that he does that. Right. You understand? Because if we remembered everything that we did and the torture that we've been through, man, we'll be in a halfway house, you understand? Well, at this point, we'll be in a whole way house, a mental institution for years and years to come because of the pain and the tragedy that we suffered for generations on top of generations, man. We're still suffering from generational trauma from slavery now. And we're talking about 400 years. You're talking about 2,000 years, you understand? What are we? Listen, man, the Lord is gracious in that. It says that we won't remember the former things. Keep going.
And it's like, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Listen, man, and we ain't even gonna listen. Once we gone, once we get that fresh new start, that new body. Listen, man, we on to a new race, man. The same race, but you know what I'm saying. The old race, but a new body, man. And it's really like that because the Lord understands, man. Like, imagine how much stress you would be under if you trying to correct when if you trying to correct mistakes from 5,000 years ago. You understand? You remembering all these times back then, man. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 30, and we're gonna go to 21. Yep, Ecclesiasticus 30 and 21.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 20, verse 31.
30 verse 21. Salakia.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 30, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Give not over thy mind to heaviness,
Give not what?
over thy mind to heaviness,
Uh-huh.
and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel.
Listen, don't give your mind over to stress, man. Don't give your mind over to that heaviness and don't afflict your mind in your own counsel. You shouldn't be trying to figure things out on your own. You should get counsel from the men of the Lord. Keep going.
The gladness of the heart is the life of man,
Uh-huh.
and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days.
Listen, the Lord said he didn't give us the remembrance of the former things so that we can have joy and comfort in trying to prolong our days by being merry, man, and not having a stress on our mind, man. Keep going.
Love thy own soul,
Uh-huh.
and comfort thy heart.
Uh-huh.
Remove sorrow from thee,
Uh-huh.
for sorrow hath killed many,
For what?
killed many.
Uh-huh.
There is no profit for it.
What's the number one killer for blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians other than high blood pressure and diabetes? Stress. Right? Stress has killed many. Keep going.
Envy, even envy and wrath short the life,
Uh-huh.
and carefulness bring age before the time.
It says carefulness, being full of cares. You know what I'm saying? You worrying about everything. It says bring age. So like it said bring age before time, man. Listen, man, you 25 and you looking like you 65, man, because you just full of cares, man. You caring about everything, man, that you can't even control because it's all in the Lord's hands, man. You shouldn't stress yourself out when it comes to understanding death and dealing with death, man, because you understand that this is just the cycle of life, man. Go ahead, go ahead.
That's another lesson the Lord's trying to teach us that we shouldn't stress over things you can't not control.
Real talk.
Because we want to control everything that you have no business trying to control.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? You controlling how many how many ribs your man got. You
Real
can't
talk.
control it.
Real
You know,
talk.
the Lord teaches us how to be, what word I'm looking for? I don't want to say careless, but teaches us how to lead stress free.
Right.
Just depend on his words only.
Right.
Don't depend on your words or how you feel. Depend on the Lord's words, man. You know what I'm saying? What the priest bringing out is so heavy because we like to dwell on the dead. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? We like to remember it. We like to put up the scriptures in the apocrypha.
Right.
Talk about we like to put up a what you call that like a worshiper stand. What
Right.
you call that? Like they did for the gods and stuff, like candles.
Oh,
And,
right.
you
The
know,
memorials or whatever. Yeah.
memorials. They also put in a shirt. That end up in apocrypha.
Right. Right.
But Lord said don't do that, man.
Real talk.
Christ said let the dead bury the dead.
Real
That's what
talk.
Christ said. So it's kind of hard for us to understand. Trust, believe. We all went through losses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, Christ, you know what I'm saying? Christ followers went through losses, man.
Real talk.
But he said, hey, man, look, when we get to that kingdom, don't worry about it. We building the kingdom here.
Damn
And
right.
that's so important that we hold on dear to what the Lord says, man, and
Damn
not
right.
what the oppressor says.
Damn right.
The oppressor has you out here bombed out on drugs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gonna get high because you been trying to bring other people. speak to you while you're high.
Good night. Good night.
That's
Right.
what you the Lord said, yeah, it's okay to mourn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then don't dwell on it.
Right. Nah, get that priest a hand, man. That priest is just dropping it so heavy, man. Like we try to worry about everything other than the right things. You understand? We stressing over everything that we can't control. But I tell you what we can control. Give me Deuteronomy 30 and 15. This is what we can control. If you worrying about what you should stress over, the decisions that you should make, how you should live your life, how you should move forward, man. This is the heaviest decision that you should be on your mind right now, right? Read that when you got it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
See, I have set before thee this day, life and good.
So here it's saying, I have set before you this day, and this is Moses giving the law to the people, man. I have set before you Salakia. I have set before you life and good, right? Keep going.
And death and evil.
And death and evil. So he's saying, listen, let me make it plain for you right quick. Let me make it flat for you, right? Let me lay it down flat for you right quick. I have set before you with all these laws right here that I've given you, life and good and death and evil. Now I'm gonna just give you the easiest decision that you can make ever in your life. Keep going.
Verse 16. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live, and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess.
Skip up to verse 19.
I come to record this day against you.
So now let me record this for all the earth to hear, and let the heavens hear too. Proclaim this, you understand? Keep going. Life and what? Now here's the easiest choice you can make in your life. Keep going. Choose what? Choose what? That what? That both you and your seed may live. Who is your seed gonna bring back and forth in the earth? You. So the best thing you can do on this planet right now while you're here is to choose life. You understand? That's the easiest thing you can do, man, so you can live, man. You don't have to stress about, you understand, nothing else, man. Oh man, I wish, I would have had this much time. Listen, man, the best, give me Ecclesiastes 7:1. The best thing you can do, man, is to change your life. If you really love your family members or the deceased family members that you got, you should change your life for them. That's what you should do. Because 90% of us grew up Christian or, whatever the case may be, either way it goes, you was all Christians anyway. You should change your life, you understand, and live a life that's just not full of cares, and just choose life so you can live, man. Keep going. I'll read that when you got it. So like you.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 1.
A
good man, like a good name is better than precious ornament.
A what?
A good name is better than precious ornament.
So a good name is better than precious ointment. Captain Tazaria got some glorious oils and ointments, you know what I mean? Precious oil, like expensive perfumes. A good name is better than that. Keep going.
And the day of death is the day of one's birth.
It said the day of death is better than the day that you are born. Why? Because from the day you're born, you don't have a name or a reputation. You're just a baby. You build your name and your reputation all the way up until the day you take your last breath. So a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day you die is better than the day that you were born, because now they can celebrate that good name. They can celebrate those accomplishments that you've accomplished over your life. Everybody want to celebrate their birthday every year, which is unlawful, and they want to be stingy and selfish and celebrate the terrible years that they had and having a terrible reputation. Sexy Red got a hell of a reputation right now, and it's been the same reputation for the past 3 years, 2 years. I'm out of town, whatever she say, you know what I mean? And that's her reputation. And you know what people are gonna say when she passes? Listen, she was a good mother, a good wife. If a brother do decide to rib up or whatever, and it's like, well, good night. We forgot all about them hot girl summers that you had. Listen, because the day, you know what I'm saying, the day you were born, your birthday, your reputation and your name means much more than that, man. Right. You should celebrate that, man. Let me get like 1 or 2 more scriptures. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 41 and 11.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 41, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
The morning of men is about their body.
The morning of what?
Of men is about their body.
Keep going.
But in every name of sinners shall be
blotted out. Listen, it says the mourning of men is about their bodies. So you go into those funerals and your loved ones, you're mourning over their bodies. Their spirit is coming back. You're mourning over that physical body, man. But it says that the name of a sinner shall be blotted out. Listen, who remembers the killer in the hood that they grew up that had all the bodies? Listen, he's just another, fly on the wall. We don't remember him. He didn't have a good name. He didn't have a good reputation, right? He didn't. So the mourning of men is about their bodies, man. But a good name, like I said earlier, is better than the day you were born. You understand? Keep going.
Have regard to thy name.
Uh-huh.
For that shall continue with thee.
Uh-huh.
Above 1,000 great treasures of gold.
Listen, your name will precede you, man, and keep going more than that of 1,000, treasures of gold, man. More than $1 million, man. If you're a righteous and honorable man and woman, man, that's sincere and you're an upstanding person, your name is going to be memorable. Your reputation is going to be remembered. You understand? Your name is going to live on. Although your body isn't here, your reputation will be. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
A good life have but few days.
A good life have what?
Few days.
Uh-huh.
But
a good name does what?
Endure.
Listen, man, it proves my point, man. Everything that is born must die, man. But the way you live, you understand? You can be, you could be born December, what's the day? December whatever, the January 2nd, 3rd, and then 60 years later you die, right? But everybody should remember that name of those, and your name should live on versus mourning over that one day that you died. Mourning. Do you celebrate the birthday of your loved ones when they pass? I want to ask that question. Do you celebrate that, or would you just rather live a life or to carry on their reputation, man? To carry on the name that they established, man. That's what you should understand, man. A good name lasts forever, man. And you should live a life according to a name that you don't want to be blotted out forever, man. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass the class over to Precinct Officer Bun Zion with the security announcements.
It's ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK started out 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on command Junior High. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must give permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will give permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10 in the Hebrew. Ma'asharah, 10 of any penny of any increase the Lord give you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. It will be Thursday the 22nd of February and Friday the 23rd of February 2024. You can find it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, just start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headbands, scarf. That includes the application carrying out.
Sorry, crash the water. And with that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Michael, Amam Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh, Shim Yahshua Rakatah, Yad Yamatah. We're going to start turn to face the sisters. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Michael, Amam Shabbat, Michael, Barak, Yahweh, Shim Yahshua Rakatah, Yad Yamatah. Dismissed.